and Shig Miya are two of the most distinguished bonsai artists in the United States. Shig was born in Utah in 1921, and Frank was born in California's Imperial Valley in 1923. They continue to be the senseis of the Marina Bonsai Club and active members of the California Bonsai Society. They were both taught by John Naka, known as the father of bonsai in America. In addition to bonsai, Frank became the #1 practitioner of Saikei, an art that combines bonsai-style trees with representations of mountains and rivers. When he became a bonsai artist, Shig rebelled against the idea of styling every bonsai like a pine tree. He thought they should look more natural and less like man-made sculptures. Known for originality in their art, both men are incredible teachers whose patience and generosity have turned countless students into bonsai artists. But more importantly, their students have also become better people just from being around Frank Goya and Shig Miya.
So the first thing, just how did you get into bonsai? What interested you about bonsai in the beginning?
Well, I wanted to learn the bonsai style tree because I was doing landscaping and I wanted to make the landscape tree like a bonsai. So I started taking a lesson to do the big trees, but I got hooked and started into bonsai too.
So it started out to help your career, and then it became your passion.
Yeah.
And who was teaching you in the very beginning?
Well, we had one teacher that didn't last too long, so we got John to take over.
John Naka.
Yeah. That was under the Gardeners Association in Venice.
And you, Frank, how did you get started in bonsai? What interested you, or what?
My job is to take care of the garden, and those days, a lot of people are interested in Oriental gardens, and if the people interested in Japanese garden, then you have to learn about the tree, shape of the tree. That's how I have to take bonsai.
Now you told me you also, that your grandfather did some bonsai. You saw them in Japan?
Yeah, my grandfather was interested in the garden in Japan, and we used to work in the garden, and I still remember we had great time together, planting trees here and there. That's most memorable thing I remember about the garden.
So you explained how you got into bonsai. I just want to know some background before that, before you came to California. You were born in Utah, is that right?
Yeah. I was born in Utah, a place called Clearfield.
And how did your family come to Utah? Why was your family in Utah?
No, we were farming.
And Frank, you were born in Southern California, Imperial Valley?
Yeah, that's a lot of Japanese settled first because it's hot place. I heard they used to grow melons, and the climate there is pretty hot, so they could harvest the melon before anybody else, so they could sell them at a good price. But farming is taking a lot of chance. So they said they got about 300 families living in that area. And right, they still have the settlers museum there. And we could see those settlers taking picture at Christian church over there. It's a really interesting place to see. But after that, I think people, it's farming is taking a chance, so they move out of there, and so that's where we are right now.
So was your family also farming?
Yes, I think what they call is share farming. Lease the place, and they got a big landowners, and they let small farmers take a share. And one of my immediate family in Okinawa got sick, and whole family went to see them in Okinawa, and my dad came back, and the rest of the family stayed in Okinawa. I stayed about over 10 years in Okinawa. I went to school, and I came back right before war started.
Did you come back by yourself?
Yeah.
So who'd you stay with?
Huh?
Who did you live with after you came back from Okinawa?
My dad was here,
Oh, okay.
and before the evacuation, we used to live in San Gabriel, right across from San Gabriel Nursery. They used to call it Mission Nursery. That was the biggest Japanese nursery. That's why we got into gardening business until we moved into a concentration camp at the time war broke out.
So the war broke out, and then you were sent to internment camp in Arizona?
We went to move into assembly center, what they call. It's, I forgot the name of the place. This is,
But you were in Gila, is that right?
yeah, from assembly center we went to Gila, Arizona. And from there, we went to Lake Camp in Northern California. And from there, we went to Crystal City in Texas before we got released.
So you were in 3 different camps.
Yeah.
Okay. And each, after all the lush farming that you had before the war, you were in the desert and nothing could grow, you told me, right?
Well, this in Arizona, it's almost nowhere, in the middle of nowhere. But it's more or less a virgin island, a virgin land. And if you give water, everything grows naturally. You know. That's how we grew what we eat in the camp.
In the camp?
Yeah.
Wow. And you were okay in Utah. They didn't send you to the camps during the war. During World War II, you were okay in Utah. You didn't go to internment camp.
No, I didn't go.
Because you were farming and you weren't at the coast.
No, I was exempt because I was a farmer, so I didn't get into the army. I had to
Necessary occupation. Or whatever it's
Yeah.
called, yeah. Why did you move to Los Angeles?
Pardon?
Why did you move here?
Because
I know the story. Tell them the story.
my wife didn't want a farm, so we moved to Los Angeles.
She said, I don't want to be a farmer's wife. That's what she said.
So we started gardening, which was real easy because I was a farmer,
Yeah.
you know. Nampukai was conducted it all in Japanese when I joined Nampukai. Most of the students were from educated in Japan, and they called them kibes. And I was the only Nisei that didn't know Japanese too much because I just knew some Japanese because of my parents spoke Japanese. But since I joined the club, the Japanese started coming back to me because of my parents. But it wasn't a good language. The vocabulary wasn't too big. But I got away with that. And I really don't know when we started to get Caucasian into the club, then it turned into English.
Cheryl Manning wrote an article, and she said that John Naka and you wanted to allow people into the club, not to make it just for Japanese. Is that something you remember? That you wanted people who weren't necessarily Japanese Americans.
Yeah.
You wanted it open to everybody.
Well, I really don't know how it happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Frank, when you were students of John Naka, was the class then Nampukai, or then Nampukai came out of that class, or how did that come about?
Well, first of all, I think we are Bonsai people in this country, Mr. Naka, love. He is, I would say he's a genius. He's really talented, and he's the kind of guy, if you want to do it, you do it right, and not anyway. And he's the one who started digging the tree in the wild in order to get the best kind of a bonsai material. And as you know, John Naka is the one wrote 2 books, and this book is still, I think, is the best bonsai book written anywhere in this world. And bonsai people call this book Bible of Bonsai. I think that's true. And now, his book is sold out. Now they're thinking about trying to make copies some more, but I don't know how family feel. And about Nampukai, Nampukai members actually John's favorite students.
Okay.
And
So he invited people.
yeah,
You had to be
he was
asked.
one of us. invited to the family. And now shows like this is sponsored by very few good members, students of John Naka. And this John Naka could pick Nampukai members, picks himself. That's why we do this show once a year, at least during the Nisei Week festival.
And CBS, then, the California Bonsai Society, was established, again, this was in an article by Cheryl, so that you had to belong to a major bonsai organization in order to have shows. So that was one reason why it started. How is that different from Nampukai? Was there a sensei who was in charge of California Bonsai, or did you just help each other, or how did that work?
Yes, well, actually, Nampukai is a part of, I think, I would say, California Bonsai Society.
Ah, okay. But you have meetings at each other's houses, or for California?
By John only.
Okay.
He is handpicked, wasn't it?
That's what Frank said, yeah.
In California, just anybody didn't get in California either. I think they had to have a committee to decide who joins California at the time. I think even now, just somebody has to come to see your collection before you can join California. Is it that way yet?
I think it's changing.
Not anymore.
Not anymore? Anyway, it used to be that way, but now I guess if you're into bonsai and you want to join California, you can join, I guess. I really don't know for sure.
So it was an honor, John Naka would invite you to join California.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
used to be, yeah.
Frank had talked about John Naka as a teacher, as a sensei. When did you guys become sensei? How did that happen? I think, Frank, didn't you feel that at one point John Naka felt the classes were getting too crowded, so someone else had to be sensei?
We had somebody once before John, maybe 2-3 months is about all. We had him a few months, and then we decided to get John instead. You know. But I had nothing to do with that. I was just in the Gardeners Club, and the president of the Gardener Club decided to get John, I guess. That's, you know, at that time I was just nobody. I just a student.
Well, you both are not nobodies, are you? Everyone in the world of bonsai knows you all over the world. You told me a story once that you went to some bonsai event in New York a long time ago, and everyone was saying, you know, there's going to be a special person from bonsai here. Do you remember that story? And you said, who is that special person? It turned out to be you.
Oh, yeah?
Now, Frank, when you were talking about John Naka, sensei, how was his teaching different methods than you guys did? What was it like to be his student?
When John Naka do something, he does all with his strength and energy. He's talented in many other things too, but he not the kind of guy teach you halfway or anyway. He really concentrates. He threw all his energy, knowledge into bonsai. I think we really learned from him.
Yeah, John was a brilliant man. He's a special guy. He knew how to talk. He knew how to teach. He's not like me. He was good. He was an excellent teacher. He was good to teacher for everybody, not just us. He's just a special guy.
Well, I think everyone in Marina feels you guys are great teachers. And I know when I joined, and a lot of people have the same experience, I was very surprised that sensei weren't so serious. I thought it was going to be very serious and formal, and I was very surprised that it was just welcoming and a fun situation. So that's an era that you created. Frank, we were talking last week about the many different kinds of people in the Reno Bonsai Club. And I know you had some feelings about other clubs. Are other clubs like that also?
Yeah, like in this area, we got so many masters too. One particular one was that bonsai should be purely, completely hobby. We should not involve with the business. The bonsai shouldn't be take place of a business. This should be purely hobby. So some people is got a different idea, and they got away from California Bonsai societies. They made their own bonsai club.
But you said the other day, you said look around the room, it's like the United Nations, all different kinds of people.
That's the way we feel about it. No matter who he is, who she is, white, black, or brown, we don't care what they look like. If they love the bonsai, we welcome them. Everybody welcome. If they want to sell plants, it's fine. If you want to buy plants, that's fine too. You know, it's all independent idea. We don't care about it.
Well, the attitude of being so welcoming, everyone feels that. You know, you're there one time or twice, and you feel like you're part of the group, which is great. When you started, were there any different styles of bonsai that were popular that aren't popular now, or different species of trees that people did in the 1960s that they're not doing so much now, or what's different about the trees today, or is it different? Did everyone want to just do pines? Did everyone want to do deciduous trees? Is there any difference today?
Well, at first, most of the trees were kind of styled like pine trees. And I started crusading about making deciduous tree more like a tree itself. And now I think most everybody make deciduous tree like the tree itself. If it's an elm, it looks like an elm. If it's maple, it looks like a maple tree, not styled like pine tree.
I know you didn't like first branch, second branch, back branch for everything.
Yeah. The elm tree sometimes it all comes up out the same place, you know. I I think that was one of the biggest change in bonsai, as far as I know.
Did you guys and Ben start Marina Bonsai?
No,
Well,
he's always,
Or you started?
we joined later.
John got too busy going all over the world, so he quit us, and the three of us decided to take over the Marina Club. That's what it remained until Ben passed away.
Frank, you had talked to me about the importance of the Venice Japanese Community Center and how it got started. Originally, when it was being built, the land was very inexpensive there. Everyone chipped in. You want to talk about that?
Yes, we are very proud of Venice Community Center. Pioneers, mostly they are farmers. They were not really rich people, but they thought about the future of the younger generations. So they pitched in the money. They were not rich people, but they put out money collected from their own pocket, and they bought the land. And they built some building for classroom, and they teach Japanese language or Japanese culture through that. That's same place and newer building. Government put us in the camp during the war. Japanese people try hard to keep the place. When the war was over, people started coming back to them. That's where those people without a house stay there until they find a place to live.
They stayed at the community center.
Yeah, that's why all nursery we Japanese kind of forget about that place. It's actually a sacred place for Japanese people.
And so when they, during the war, how were you able to hold on to the place, you know? Those property, how did you keep the property?
I don't know much about it. Not only this place, government, they don't find you, Japanese people, the property, we should keep it. They didn't give us any instruction, and they said, you guys have to just get out of it, whatever. They didn't care about it. Most people didn't have any property. Just the Japanese community started having a little bit better, because until natural born children, the first generation people they cannot be lawyer, they cannot be a doctors, they couldn't have any properties unless you are natural born citizen over 21 years old. So Japanese people have to go through all that hardship. When we got in the camp, average Nisei, second generation Japanese are 21 years old. Just getting a little bit saving, start getting property, things like that. Until then, so in a way it's lucky that Japanese people didn't have any property.
The story that I heard was that there were two Caucasian ministers who held on to the property of the community center during the war and then gave it back after the war.
Some people, we had very nice religious people who were glad to keep our belongings, like furniture, some extra things they will keep until we come back.
So these are the 5 people who started California Bonsai Society. And Can you read the names of the 5 people?
John was the youngest one among the 5.
John Naka. And so, can you read the other names? Because I have trouble pronouncing some of the names. Maybe you can do better than me. So it was Morihei Furuya. Morihei Furuya.
Tsuneji Yamashiro. He went back to Japan.
Ah.
Mrs. Okumura.
Okay.
She's a teacher of flower arrangement, actually.
So the 5 people were Mr. Furuya, Mr. Nakata, Mrs. Okamura, John Naka, and Mr. Yamashiro. Is that right? So they decided to have the California Bonsai Society. And then you said you joined around the 2nd show, was that?
Yeah, that's what we did.
And where were the shows given from CBS before they were, where were the shows put on? Where were the exhibits?
It's an exposition park. We used to have a show every year there until the city of Los Angeles told us the building at the exposition park where we had a show every year is too old.
Ah.
We had to get out of there. Until 1993, we had a show over there, and we had to move out of there. That was the time I was president. We had to move out of there. We had to find a place to show ourselves. But it's a 100-ton garden. They said they like to have us, so that's why we decided to show it after that.
So now the California Bonsai Society trees and the shows, annual shows, are at the Huntington. And you were president.
I was president.
You were president for 3 years in a row, 1993 and 1996, right?
Yeah, until Lloyd Garver took over.
And what was the membership like then? Were there a lot of members? Was this a good time for the club?
Yeah, we had about, when I was the president, we had about 150 members. And half of that, about 75, 70 were Japanese. But Japanese are getting older and younger people now really interested like us. There are not many Japanese now. Most of the majority members are non-Japanese.
So it was a very strong club at the time that you were president.
You mean Japanese?
No, when the club had a lot of members, you had a lot of activities.
Yeah. You know, we used to have a 1 week show from Sunday to Sunday, 8 days. And for 8 days, we had an audience come to visit the bonsai, about 70,000 people in 8 days. So actually we used to have about 10,000 people come every day. Whereas in those days, bonsai is something mysterious to American bonsai. How the 100 years old tree can live in a little container. This is mysterious, you know. So they want to come to see the really, are these trees real trees? And they will try to touch the tree. We have to have a sign, don't touch. These are real trees, but you're not supposed to touch. So we used to have a sign, do not touch.
Oh, Frank, it was just a very important part of the bonsai community when you were president, and you want to keep it going as part of the bonsai community. Is that right?
Well, it's actually, I think bonsai is it's an art form that the people on this earth should appreciate what it is, and we should continue. This is international, and also this is a culture of all human beings. we could be very friendly with different skin of colors. We are different, but come to bonsai, we agree we are all human. We could enjoy the same culture, appreciate what we do. So I think it's very important to think about it.
And Shig, how is it, you said that you started out bonsai to help you with your work, and then you got hooked. So how has it affected your life, your personality? Are you a calmer person because of bonsai? What do you love so much about it that you keep doing it? I mean, you could just retire now and not be teaching people, but you still work on your trees every day?
Yeah. I enjoy working on the trees right now, so I keep on going, but I'm getting so forgetful nowadays. I don't try to concentrate on shaping the tree and trimming the tree. It keeps me busy. That's good for my mind, I guess. So I keep on doing it. That's all I know.
When people bring out a tree to class from the nursery, it's just a bush. I notice you'll look at it. What are you looking for? Are you looking for the best branch? Are you looking for the trunk? Because you'll just take a long time before you start working on it.
Instincts, I guess. I don't know.
And Frank, you once said to me, an amazing thing, you said there would be no wars if everyone did bonsai. So what did you mean? Or you want to talk about that?
Well, I think through art, like bonsai, people have more chance to talk, and they got more chance to know each other. After all, we are all humans, and war, fight against each other, except very few people. There are some people is greedy for the money, greedy for the power, greedy about the fame. That's what, if these evil people get together, that's how war started.
And finally, in the past couple of years, Harry and Ben both passed away. Do you have any memories or stories about them that you think are important for 50 years from now when they see the video?
If you meet strangers, if he's interested in certain thing, like in bonsai, we meet stranger. If you come to the bonsai hobby, all of a sudden we talk a few minutes. We could be a friend for many, many years, So we come back to the basic of a human being. We love a peace, we love certain things, not a war or discrimination, things like that. I think art is very important.
Bonsai people are special people.
Very special people.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right.